Hey, everybody. It is Dave Schmittou here. Um, I just decided I would create this video because I just left church, and the message today sent my head just spinning. So, disclaimer, this is not going to be a religious message. I'm not going to be necessarily talking about church or preaching to you at all. I'm just going to tell you where my mind kind of went today. It's focused on teaching. It's focused on leadership. It's focused on professional learning. It's focused on just making ourselves better. As I'm recording this, we're about a week away from the start of the new year, where a lot of us are making our personal and professional goals, and that's really what I want to fixate on and focus on. So, let me start by talking about the message a little bit, and then I'll tell you where my mind went. So, the message today was focused on the fact that information doesn't change people's minds. Experiences change people's minds. Experiences are what matter more than the information. And the message today, delivered by a man by the name of Shay Prisk. Feel free to check him out, look up his podcast or whatever if you want to. It was pretty cool, but it made my mind start going in a lot of different directions. First of all, I went back and I started thinking about 20-something years ago when I went to college. I went to college at Central Michigan University, Fire Up Chips. And I remember there was this guy who, in the center of campus, he was out there probably 3-4 days a week. He would wear one of those sandwich boards where, the ropes go over his shoulders. And on the front, he had a message that said, like, you're going to go to hell if you do check. And they had like a list of other things. And on the back, it had some Bible verses. And I remember this guy was just so polarizing. People would just come and taunt him. He was out there trying to like preach a bunch of information, but all it did was make people dig in their heels even more and start confronting him with science and their truth and logic and reason and all this stuff. And I'll be honest, I went to college for 4.5 years. And I don't think that guy changed anybody's mind by just spouting a bunch of information at anybody. I'm thinking back to my own time in the classroom. So I'm in my 20th year in education. And I'll be honest, when I was in the classroom as a classroom teacher, I thought I had all of the answers. I mean, I had my certificate, I had my degree. I went to Central Michigan University, went to Eastern Michigan University, got my master's. So I ended up with great experiences and had a lot of knowledge. And as a result, didn't really think I needed to change my ways at all. I thought utilizing my lesson plan book and writing down my anticipatory set and having the activity and the homework assignment and all of that stuff just mapped out every single day and repeating the same cycle year after year was all that really mattered. I knew that there were all these people out there providing professional development. I knew that my school district had all these people that were trying to get people to be more innovative and invigorating in their classrooms and provide more engaging activities for students. But I didn't think it necessarily mattered to me. As a matter of fact, I actually pushed back against some of those things and thought that people were just being kind of crazy, or that people were out there just trying to sell new ways of doing things. It wasn't until I had some experiences that truly transformed me. Going back to the church example today, part of the message today dealt with Saul, who then changed his name to Paul. For those of you that don't know the story, Saul was this guy who came around right after Jesus was born, and he was a rule follower, and he was totally against this new radical way of thinking with Christianity, and actually thought his job was to go out and persecute the early church. He was out there trying to find people that were embracing this new way of doing things, and he was out there arresting people and murdering people and really trying to do all he could to stop the flow of these new ideas. And it wasn't until he had this experience that his world was completely changed, and he even changed his name from Saul to Paul. But that's not really the focus here. The focus is he was armed with all kinds of information, but the information did not change his way of doing things. So where my mind went today was through the idea of professional development, professional learning. So my current job title is I'm the Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction. And I think that sometimes my job is to just flood teachers and principals with all kinds of research, all kinds of information about best practices, and expect that that's going to transform classrooms. It's going to change the way that people do things. I think that sometimes in classrooms, teachers think their job is just to fill kids with content, and that when kids have more knowledge, they're going to live these revolutionary, transformative, innovative lives. But the reality is that's not what happens. What happens is people need to be exposed and experience experiences. They need to have encounters that transform and revolutionize themselves. I'll give you some more stories. For example, in 1994, so we're talking 25 years ago, I went to a concert and saw Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw, for those of you that know me, I am the biggest Tim McGraw fan on the planet. But the reason I'm a huge Tim McGraw fan was because of a moment I had in 1994 where I went to see him in concert, sat front row, and I actually got one of his guitar picks from the concert. And that experience of getting a stupid little guitar pick changed me. I became this lifelong fan because of that experience. My oldest son, he's 14. He's a huge Cole Swindell fan. Cole Swindell is another country music singer. Although my son doesn't necessarily listen to country music anymore, he loves Cole Swindell and listens to his music. Because about 4 years ago, we went to a concert at a little county fair in Florida. And me and my son won backstage passes. We got to go meet Cole Swindell, shake his hand, take pictures with him, and have a little private sesh. And as a result of that experience, my son loves himself some Cole Swindell. I'm thinking about like my own professional walk now. My professional journey was completely transformed because of some experiences. I had experiences meeting Rick Wormeli and meeting Dave Burgess and sitting in some of their sessions. That the experiences are what transformed my world as an educator. Their sessions are amazing. They're transformative, but it was actually the conversations, being able to shake their hands, look them in the eye, and feel like I mattered to them, that completely revolutionized my way of doing things. As a leader, I have fully bought into what they sell because of the experience I had with them. I've done my own research after the fact, after those experiences, to try to validate and prove out what I began to explore and began to experience. But oftentimes those experiences are the transformative actions that lead to more research. Because by nature, we are people that look for those self-fulfilling prophecies. We look for the research to validate the experiences that we've had. It's the experiences that matter more. I say this because I've had some people reach out to me talking about professional learning that I can provide. And they talk about the need to have sustainable models. They talk about the need to have professional learning that lasts beyond a single day. And I could not agree more. I agree completely. But I also want to challenge you that sometimes those moments are the transformative moments that can completely change a destination and can completely change the destiny of a career. You know, I think about in your personal lives, you think about the idea of planning a vacation. Maybe you go to Disney World. Maybe you go and you spend some time on a beach in Florida or Hawaii or California. You plan those vacations because you know that those single moments can be transformative moments. Yeah, it'd be amazing to live a life where you can wake up and go on the beach every single day, or to live a life that's like surrounded by Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck every single day. I mean, that'd be crazy. That'd be awesome. But you're not going to get those experiences every single day unless you have a moment that transforms your thought process to make that feel like it's a possibility. As you enter 2020, as you enter this next school year, I'm going to encourage you to seek out those moments, those transformative experiences, whether that means seeking out your first ever conference. Like for me, every single year, I go to AMLE or ASCD or Innovative School Practices Summits. I go to these moments because those moments trigger my thought processes and have me keep going throughout the rest of the year and looking for new opportunities. It's those conferences that allow me to figure out which books I'm going to read to expand my thinking. I don't necessarily read the books first and then say, oh, I'm going to go seek out this conference. It's normally those face-to-face, in-person experiences that revolutionize and transform. If you're a leader, if you are a principal or an assistant superintendent or some sort of director, don't drag your feet on giving your teachers those experiences until they can prove with all kinds of research that the conference is going to be transformative or that it's going to support some sort of initiative you already have. If you want people to expand their horizons and expand who they are, or to think about doing things differently, give them those opportunities to go see things in person, to have those experiences. If you're a classroom teacher, look for ways in 2020 to give your students an experience, an encounter. For example, the field trip should not come after you flooded your kid's head with lots of content. Maybe front load it. Give them the experience first. Bring that guest speaker in first. Show that movie first. Give the experience the opportunity to transform thoughts, to transform hearts before you start giving information that's going to lead them down that path. And I think about like Wade and Hope King and their push to be the wild card. And they have these amazing conferences out there right now that give people lots of ideas and opportunities to go change the way they do things. But even their conferences are built to be experiences that are transformative. They don't just stand up and give you a bunch of research and information. They give you an experience that you feel like it's really something you want to do. So in 2020, your goals, maybe seek out opportunities, seek out experiences that are going to be transformative. Focus in on some moments and let those moments change your mind and change your heart. And who knows, this could be your year.